Hey, what is going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. We are back with some mixed bag of C8 Corvette Z06 and Stingray news updates today. I'm not sure if the general consensus is good news first, then bad news, or bad news first and then good news, so I'll just kind of go in the order of when this information became available to us. We're going to go over all the plant shutdown information that's become available to us so far, which means there is yet another delay in Corvette production. We are going to go over the constraint removal of certain aspects of the Corvette Stingray orders, which is a huge plus for those waiting for their 2023 Corvettes. And lastly, we're going to find out where are all the Z06's that have been built from over a month ago. And as always, if you're stopping by for the first time, Jump Squad Auto is a Corvette enthusiast channel that tries to focus on a lot of different automotive news. And I like to dive right into my videos, not beat around the bush, not pad the video, so without further ado, let's dive right into today's video. And if you do enjoy this content, if you enjoy this format of video, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. As a small channel, I don't get promoted enough that I may end up being suggested to you in the future, so if you want to watch all the videos, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, and leave a comment down below to let YouTube know that you enjoyed this video. So first things first, the Bowling Green assembly plant is shut down for the week of October 17th. The official memo reads, due to a temporary part supply issue, we can confirm that the Bowling Green assembly plant will not run production the week of October 17th. Supply chain, manufacturing, and engineering teams are working closely with all our supply base to mitigate any further impacts on production to meet the strong demand for the products. The expected date for plant to resume production is October 24th, so this is another full week shutdown at Bowling Green Assembly. For those that may not remember, I did cover this before on the channel, but the Corvette assembly plant also shut down in the last week of August into the first week of September, so this is now nearly the second straight month that we've had a shutdown at the plant. Additionally, we did cover last month that they increased the shift production count to allow for additional C8s to be produced, so it remains to be seen if General Motors and Chevrolet does that again for the month of October to try to make up some of the ground lost here with the supply shortage issue. In terms of what this means for you and your C8 Corvette order, unfortunately this will mean that things will get pushed back about a week. What I've noticed is it gets pushed back probably 3 or 4 days. Some people at the later end of a week may get pushed into the next week, and then certain people that were scheduled for earlier production in the week usually stay within the same week and just move back towards the end of the week. That kind of back-end processing and planning is something we don't have really privilege of knowing, but rest assured that General Motors and Corvette have a long history of trying to get the lost ground from supply chain issues made up one way or the other. And even though that is bad news, the really good news that we have is that the edge red calipers and the edge red engine covers are now removed from constraint for this allocation cycle, which means if you had those parts on your build, you can now actually go ahead and get an allocation in this cycle if you were waiting for one. And to recap a little bit of backstory there, the plant that manufactures the edge red engine cover and the edge red caliper did have a fire at the facility, and that's what has delayed the availability of those parts for General Motors to build into the Corvettes. And thankfully they aren't constrained just to the 70th anniversary edition. I assume that if those parts were not available in ample supply, then they probably would have restricted it to the 70th anniversary edition and not for the base Stingray, but it looks like regardless of which package you have, you can now get the edge red calipers and the edge red engine cover. And not that this makes a difference to me, but it looks like the edge red engine cover is now part of the 70th anniversary edition coupe. So if you have a coupe 70th anniversary edition that has not been built, it sounds like now you are going to be getting the edge red engine cover as a part of that package. So a nice little caveat from General Motors to round out the red theme on the 70th anniversary edition. And I don't usually cover this information on the channel, but the total production count looks like it's ticked up and it's looking very strong. For the production period of 11/7 through 11/13, it looks like almost 873 Z51 performance packages and 374 non-Z51 production package cars have been allocated to dealerships as of today. This stuff's ever changing, so I usually don't cover it on any of the update videos on the channel, but if anybody finds this information helpful and want to see more of it in the future, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. And lastly, to round out the video about the C8 Z06, the big question is since September 19th, we know that 14 C8 Z06's have been produced, and that number is probably ticking up by the week. but nobody has received delivery of the C8 Z06, and so General Motors has informed everybody that the C8 Z06 is actually in an additional quality hold period, because unlike the C7 Z06, which had some initial quality issues, it seems like General Motors wants to go over these cars with a finer tooth comb to make sure that everything is perfect, everything is aligned, and there are no production quality issues. And so you really can't complain about that. That's the official answer. Off the record, I personally, and again, this is just my opinion, think that maybe General Motors is also trying to stack up some Z06s at the assembly plant so they're shipping out more than just maybe 10, 12, or 15, because otherwise those 15 vehicles are going to be worth a lot more money over MSRP, whereas if they build 100 or so, or even more, it'll saturate the market a little bit, which wouldn't be a bad strategy for them to combat the flippers. Though I imagine anyone that has a production date this early into the production of the C8 Z06 is probably a VIP customer who General Motors probably strongly feels isn't a flipper. So for those that are lucky enough to know that their C8 Z06 has been produced, definitely keep on track of that. I don't imagine that General Motors is going to hold them for much longer, but sooner or later they will release them out to the shipper to be delivered to your dealership for you to be able to pick up and enjoy. We do know that museum delivery for the C8 Z06 is starting to get scheduled for November, so I anticipate that probably through the end of next week we're going to see some of these cars start getting released for delivery in the month of November. And so continued fingers crossed that everything goes smoothly, so maybe if I'm lucky I get an allocation for my C8 Z06 come January or maybe in the spring. But yeah, that's all the information that we have available about the C8 Z06 and the C8 Stingray right now. The assembly plant is closed next week for 1 week. Edge red calipers and edge red engine covers are no longer on constraint, and C8 Z06s are currently on quality production hold for additional quality review, which rounds out all the information about the C8 Corvette that is available to us this week. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out big time if you enjoyed this video and the format style. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts are on this information and what your thoughts are on another plant shutdown. And if you want more content like this recommended to you, hit that subscribe button so YouTube knows that you want to see more videos like this. If you're interested in C8 ownership experience content, definitely check out some of the playlists listed in the description below or on the channel's playlist page. I've made a ton of content with the 3 C8 Corvettes that I have now been fortunate enough to own, as well as I look forward to making a ton of content with the 2023 C8 70th Anniversary Stingray that I now have, to not only be able to document my Corvette journey, but also to be able to share the Corvette experience with everybody looking forward to getting their own C8 Corvette. And as always guys, until the very next video, I look forward to seeing all of you in the comment section below.